Hi guys, welcome back to MACS Chats. This week we're talking about media when moving country, and I am joined with...
Hi, I am Noopur.
Noopur?
I'm Simran.
Simran?
Hi, I'm Shreeja.
Shreeja. Wonderful. All right, we'll start off pretty easy. How long have you guys been in Australia, and was this like the first country you moved to, or was this an experience you were used to moving country?
It's been a month for me, and this is the first time I've moved to any country.
And you moved like alone, kind of? Without family, without friends? Wow.
Yes.
Did you move for university?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Studies, yes.
Studies. Yeah. What about you?
So it's been a month for me here too, but it's not the first time I've moved countries. Like I used to live in India and then I moved to Singapore, but I've been living for more than 7 years now. And even in undergrad, I've gone for 2 exchange programs. So this is not my first time moving countries.
So you're used to it a little bit.
I am.
Was there any difficulties in moving to Australia specifically versus like Singapore?
No, honestly, there was not, because I feel like both times I was with my family. Like even when I moved to Singapore, I moved with my family. And even when coming to Australia, my mom was there to help me. And I felt like it was a big stress buster. A lot of stuff was sorted out because of her help. So I felt like that was really beneficial.
Perfect. Are you here with family like permanently, or was it just to help you with that moving transition?
Oh no, so my family's back in Singapore. My mom just came here to drop and help me settle down.
Perfect. And what about you?
I've been here for a month as well, and this is my first time moving countries from India to Australia. Yeah, first time.
Were you guys all first years then, and you all moved for university?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're in our
with
masters.
Yeah.
Oh, first year masters.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How are you guys enjoying it? Like, would you think the move was worth it? At least a month in.
Yes.
Yeah, we are enjoying it, and like we have been pretty hectic with our assignments too. But then like we have had our own fun, and like we have like gelled on really well.
Oh, perfect.
So we're liking it.
So you guys met each other when you like only a month ago, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, like during O week.
Oh, nice. But you've gelled really quickly, which is
We
great.
did, yeah.
Cool. So only one of you's moved from another, like moved multiple times. So I guess I'll skip that question about like, was it particularly difficult? Can you guys talk about maybe why you chose to move to Australia? What did you know about Australia before you moved here?
Okay, so like my aunt lives in Sydney, so I had visited Sydney like before for a month, like, but it wasn't like back 2010. Plus, when I was like jotting down and narrowing down my universities to do masters, I came across the Group of 8 of Australia, and moreover, my preference was not to go to US or something. I had given an Indian exam too. But then, like, I wanted to send my scores to universities in Europe because they accept those scores. But then, again, it did not go that well. So I narrowed down the universities and, like, I narrowed down it. And then and Australia is a beautiful country. So, yeah.
So it was like a personal connection as well as like actual like academic research.
Yeah, and these universities, the Group of 8, they are like really research oriented, and I would like really like to like get into the depth of whatever I'm studying. So it really helped me like narrowing down.
Obviously thought about it a bit. What about the rest of you? Did anything, maybe even media related, play into your choice to move country? Did you see something about Australia that made you like go, this is somewhere I could spend a couple of years of my life at least?
So I had a lot of friends from high school who came to Australia to study, whether it was for undergrad or for their masters. And they kept talking about what a great place it is, how good the academic life here. And most universities here, the students are pretty well-rounded. They have a good balance of social life, academics, which I feel is extremely important. You know, when you're in university, I feel like don't just limit yourself to either studying or partying. You know, it's important to have that well-rounded balance. So I feel like that was one reason that did draw me to Australia. Also, it's not even that far from home, which kind of makes that move whole easier. But overall, I feel like, yeah, definitely Monash is one of the GO8 universities. Obviously, it's a good one. And the field I'm studying also, it's an extremely niche one, which is not offered by a lot of universities. So when researching about all the universities that did offer this course, Monash did stand out to me on the basis of the faculty, the course offering, and the ranking.
Yeah, if you feel comfortable, what are you studying then? If it's a niche.
I'm studying health economics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that is a niche. Are you enjoying it?
I am. It's really interesting.
Yeah. So is that something you kind of focused in your undergrad, or is that kind of a spontaneous master's choice?
Kind of spontaneous. So, I mean, I did do science throughout high school, but when I moved to university, I did like business. And I felt like a part of me always wanted to work in the pharmaceutical industry. And I felt like this degree is a good blend of both.
Yeah.
I get exposure to both industries and both the subjects. So I felt like it's a good match.
You guys have put so much thought into it. I'm finishing up my undergrad, and I'm at the point of just like, yeah, I picked something 4 and a bit years ago, and we're vibing through it.
But you'll go through it now that
Yeah,
you'll be picking your masters.
I'm gonna do my masters as well, and I don't know, maybe I'll move country for my masters. What about you? Why did you pick Australia?
So I was actually looking at a lot of different countries. I was looking at UK and US as well. But I was also looking at France because I wanted to get into luxury brand management. But I thought maybe why not do my master's in something more broad, and maybe when it comes to working, I could look at Europe as a workplace. And coming to Australia, I think someone from India and especially from Mumbai, it's a very chaotic place. It never sleeps. So you want to move to some place which is rather more peaceful and gives you a little bit more time to settle in. And I think Australia would be one of them compared to Mumbai. And I don't really have any friends here. It's just I sat down with my friends back from India. We were looking at different options, and we thought when it comes to the ranking and the varied specializations that GU8 universities in Australia offer, especially Monash, because for the Masters of Business course, they offer a dual degree, dual specialization, which is really amazing because I get to top off my marketing specialization with a more technical specialization, which would go hand in hand when I work. And that's something really important for me, and it really it intrigued me, and that is the reason I chose Australia.
I always find that so interesting when people come from bigger countries in Australia, because I moved from South Australia, which is just a country town. Like, it is the middle of nowhere. So moving to Melbourne for me was like, it's too much. And I was talking to some of my friends. I have a friend that moved from Adelaide with me, but they're originally Japanese. And they're like, I lived in Tokyo for 10 years. This is nothing. Like, there are more people in my town block in Tokyo than there are in this country. This is nothing. And I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. Yes. So moving from Mumbai, that seems, it's always interesting when Melbourne is the casual, like the relaxed choice for people, but it makes sense comparatively. Are you all finding that? Are you all finding like the more relaxed Australian kind of work-life balance enjoyable?
Yeah, we are. And the thing is, and the fact is that when like I was in India, or like when I was like doing a job or whatever I was doing, I had some free time. But here I'm like noticing that I'm not getting, like, I'm doing this, and like I'm doing it, and the night comes and then I sleep. So that is what is happening right now. Like, maybe I might get some free time. We might get free time, like we do get it, but like the snap of the things that are happening, like instantly, like, oh, the week is changed now. We're in a midweek actually of the semester, and like I didn't realize it.
I think the course from Monash does
Yeah.
it, because that's one thing that's very varied from India, because the bachelor's that I did back in India, you'd only study for a month. Before your exams, you'd have your assignments, then you would study for a week for your exam, and boom, you're done.
Wow.
But in Monash, I think they keep you going. Even before class, you need to do all the pre-lectures. Then during class, you have your quizzes. Post-class, you have your quizzes. So I think it's not in a bad way. It's in a good way that it keeps flowing.
And
You don't feel the overwhelming pressure at a time. It just keeps growing. It's balanced.
And they never told you that you need 100%.
Just move this a little bit closer to, just grab it and move, And if you could twist that one so like the point is, perfect.
Yeah.
No, the recording's all good. It's just a little bit nicer.
And
So you were saying?
These people never say that you need 100% attendance. It's just if you don't come to class, you're getting 0 in the quizzes. So that's what you have to keep up with. Because as said, that I come from a very different background. I come from an engineering background. So coming into this business field, it's like new terms and new words. But then again, I did used to study one day before the exam. So this is keeping us hectic, and like in a good way, in a really good way. It is keeping us busy, and we are enjoying it. We are enjoying it, and we are being tense that, oh God, we lost 1 marks in quiz. Oh God, we lost these marks. We need to like bring up our game, and like,
I think you're learning every step of the way, which is really amazing.
So it's a bit more of a long journey, and maybe less cramming. What about you? How are you finding the like Australia balance for university?
It's good. Like they said, there's a lot of work, but I feel like Probably me in undergrad would have complained about it, but I definitely looking at it from a more positive point of view. I feel like it really helps you stay up to date with your lecture notes and stuff. And, you avoid procrastinating that way. So I feel like every week we have to revise something or the other. So it kind of helps us stay up to date with whatever's going on in class so that, last minute we don't have to sit and break our heads over getting the notes in our head.
Yeah. I think that's quite interesting. I've not learnt too much about like the Indian like higher education system, but I did. My parents studied in the UK, and they did their masters very recently in Australia, and it was a new thing to them of like marked attendance as well, because in the UK it's a more 12-week semester like here, but they were like, we didn't have to go, we just crammed 2 days before. And I think a lot of master students, even when they come from like other countries in India, find the very similar thing of, we actually have to go, and we can't do maybe whatever we did in undergrad. But I think it is a positive experience. So obviously, since you guys are only a month in, there's a lot of like so much just being thrown at you. Maybe the Australia kind of casual balance will come a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right. Did we want to move on to maybe a bit more of a media focus? Was there any media when you were in India, or maybe when you just started moving to Australia, that like helped you get adjusted to the Australian like work life, or maybe set your expectations of what Australia would be like?
Probably YouTube would be one of them, because I'm someone, whenever I need reviews or whenever I need to plan something, YouTube is a very big help, because a lot of international students who come to Australia, move to Australia, they make very brief structured videos about different degrees and how do you settle in Australia. And I found them really helpful, because I was actually even applying to UNSW, New South Wales. And again, I was applying for a Masters of Commerce degree there. And there was an issue that I was facing, which was instantly cleared by an extremely detailed YouTube video. And they are very responsive. If you comment and if you ask them for help, they would instantly comment and help you out with it, which is really amazing. Apart from that, I think the big change that I found is probably Netflix. Because the shows that I used to watch back at home, they're very different from here. And I'm someone who likes to stick to sitcoms. I like 3 sitcoms and I'll just keep rewatching them again and again, unless there's something new that I would want to binge watch. But yeah, the shows here are quite different, and you get to explore a lot with that. And apart from that, I think I'm big on sports as well. So I had to sit and find out different streamers here, because I love cricket and I wanted to watch the Australia versus India match. And I had to figure it out a lot. Which streaming platform here would I have to go for? If anyone is interested, it's Kayo Sports. I figured that out. So yeah, it's quite different from home, but again, you get to explore a lot with different platforms, which is amazing.
I think that's a really interesting take. I know the sports thing has come up a lot from like different people I've talked to. I was in a group making kind of a sports program, like a podcast for a university unit, and the dude was basically just like, I came from India and it took me ages to find out where I could actually watch sport and then find commentary that was like useful to me. And then just the different vibes. We also had someone come on one of the episodes that we did during OFest talking about like how different specifically Bollywood movies are from like Australia, talking about like the emotional core, like the values, like family and all this different stuff is so much different, and it took him ages to either adjust or find somewhere that he could watch all of his favorite movies.
Yeah.
So it's certainly an adjusting program. What about the adjusting like transitionary period? What about the rest of you? Was there any media maybe back in India that you watched to kind of understand how Australia would work? Maybe just like they were saying about how universities work, maybe helped you pick a certain university?
Yes. So like when I was doing my research, when I was narrowing down, and when like I got the offer, and then like when I started talking about Australia, like word, I don't know, my phone picked up. I don't know how they picked up the AI stuff, whatever. And I was not that active on Insta earlier because I had eradicated Insta from my phone. So YouTube started sending me shorts that what you need to do, and yeah, like just she said that what you like, how many things to pack, and like, you know, and it's really important because like as an Indian, we grow up with a lot of spices and seeds and that we're not supposed to bring here. And then like I saw those videos of like airport and customs and like,
oh yeah,
you know, that is like, and I'm like, oh shit.
There's an entire genre of like Australian border tea. Like,
yeah.
My heart sank. I'm like, shit, what am I going to do without spices? And then my aunt assured me that there are Indian stores, there are Chinese stores, but I'm like, no, I need my spices. So yeah, and we all are, I guess, a really big foodie, so we need like good punchy food. So I was like, really, I'm like, oh god. And then I was finding ways on YouTube and like other platforms that how are we supposed to take? We are supposed to take packaged food and it should be packed and all those stuff, like, and the moving in and like how to pack, when to pack. And I also look like those videos like how to pack your bags in like very efficient way, because like, you know, you fold your clothes like this and you pack it. So like, yeah. And of course the YouTube has started recommending me Australian reels and shorts and the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So AI.
Yeah, I think Simran would agree to that, because even before moving here, we had some conversations on this, because, you know, when it comes to 1 month or 2 weeks, you start getting that kick in feeling that you're actually leaving home and you're moving to a whole new country. And I think at that point, Instagram really helped, because you get a lot of reels about what to explore in Melbourne. And that kind of sets a positive path for you about how you're moving countries, but you have so much more to explore. So we did that a lot. We have an entire tab on Instagram wherein we have everything saved, that whatever we want to explore in Melbourne, and we have started ticking off things from our list. So I think that really helps, because you're already overwhelmed about leaving your entire family behind and starting a new life. Something that would help is looking at it from a positive aspect, I feel. Yeah.
I think that's a really good mindset to have, but I'd never considered Instagram being used in that way. So this is like a collaborated, like, saved list that you guys use together. That's really great. That's actually a great, I think, recommendation for maybe people coming over is to start having a look. And then even when I moved from Melbourne, it's that weird transitionary period of like after 2 weeks where it stops being weirdly like a holiday and it starts being like permanent. And you knew it from the start it was permanent, or at least long term, but it takes a moment to kind of catch up your feelings. And I think that's a great way to kind of, you have to set yourself a list of things to do. You've got to make sure you leave the house. You've got to like explore this new city. I think that's a really good way. Sorry, tongue-tied over here. What about yourself? Did you have any media that you watched like in preparation for coming to Melbourne, or was there anything specific that you've added to that Instagram save list that you really enjoyed?
Okay, so personally for me, I feel that more than YouTube, it was Instagram, because I'm someone who scrolls a lot. I keep watching a lot of reels, and eventually, you know, how they start picking up whatever you were kind of talking about. So then I started getting a lot of Australia-focused things on my feed, and I was also obviously going out of my way to research about them. So obviously we know how big what a big of a concept influencing is these days. And I felt like there were a lot of student influencers who are documenting their lives here, you know, creating those videos saying, oh, a day in my life, watch me, you know, go through 1 day of uni and stuff. So I feel like that really gives you a good insight into what student life is like in Australia. So that really helped me. And obviously, like, adding on to what Shreeja said, I'm someone who does like to explore and travel a lot. And I started getting a lot of reels on different things to do in Melbourne. Best cafes to visit, the most picturesque places to go to. And I saved all my reels and I created like a huge Excel list, which is now more than 500 items of things I want to do. So definitely for me, I feel like Instagram really, really helped me that way.
So is the Instagram stuff you're looking at like food? Is it destinations? Like
it's everything. It's a mix of everything. Yeah.
I think the food example is a good transition from your fear. I've gotten that a lot. Like in certain parts of Australia, Melbourne's probably maybe the best. You can get access to other stores and other cultures, like foods and ingredients. The only one thing you can't get is Mexican food, and I know some Mexican students that hate it. You're just like, I can't get fresh chilies anywhere. But have you guys? You've managed to fill that hole of Indian food in your heart at least a little bit.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Do we want to talk a little bit maybe about communication challenges when you moved here?
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about not being able to find your favorite shows. Was there anything similar for you guys? Maybe not having access to something that you used to have access to, or maybe struggling with like English social media accounts? I don't think Indians like China, where you've got super strict borders.
No.
But any kind of communication challenges when moving to Australia?
No, I don't think so. Not, at least not for me.
Not for you? Was there
Yeah.
anything that made it a little bit easier then?
I don't feel like there was any ever challenge to begin with.
I think Indian, especially the Gen Z from India, they have moved on from just Bollywood to exploring the entire world. So if you would go and ask an Indian right now, their favorite would probably not be Bollywood. They would like the vintage Bollywood movies, of course, but they have learned to explore more things. They would talk about sitcoms from US or maybe some shows from Australia or, Europe somewhere, because they're on the exploring stage. And again, Instagram is a big influence on this, because anytime there is a new show, my entire feed would be filled. Adolescents right now, Instagram forced me to watch it. And that's a big influence on all the students right now, I feel.
So maybe it was made a little bit easier by the world already being such a multicultural place.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Australia especially is quite a multicultural country anyway. I know I've got people that work in friends that work in cinemas. Like we play Indian and Chinese new releases here, which is like something that I've talked to like Chinese students. Like I didn't know you guys did that. I thought we'd be like on piracy websites the whole time. But the multicultural like aspect kind of goes both ways. Obviously, there's Western media access in India as well as there's Indian media access in Australia. What about yourself? Did you find anything maybe challenging for communicating, or was it the same where you were like, it's so multicultural?
Yeah, because like I would not like say that I'm a huge fan of Bollywood movies. I like the older ones, but the recent ones I'm like really like, I'm very picky in that. Plus I watch a lot of Korean drama, so I really connect to that. And like, because they are also really very family oriented, and like, I kind of relate to them. Like, and when the mother like hits the daughter, and like, what the fuck are you doing in Korean when they say? So like, I just really like that, and I connect to that. And the Spanish shows because I like watching it. So in India also I had diversified my watching and the thing. And for me, communication, like I guess we are big talkers, so communication for us it was not really an issue. But yeah, I'm really grateful that I met these two, because like from India I did not like communicated with specifically with like many people. So when I met these girls, or like when I met and I gel along with them, then I told them that like, I'm really grateful to find you, that I could connect to you and communicate to you, because at one point of time, I guess you need to find those kind of people.
Your people.
Yeah, your people.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful. I keep on telling them I'm really grateful. And like, I didn't have the major communication issues, because like, my Pinterest is filled of going abroad and studying, and so Pinterest life.
So
that is what
you
I
really
wanted to
threw
do.
yourself into it as
Yes.
well. It's great that you guys did find such a strong group so early, I guess, if it's only been a month. Because I think that really does make a difference. And it
Yes.
makes the challenges of having someone to bounce off of, because there is still challenges from moving to a new country and a new like city and exploring. It's great to have someone to bounce off of, or to fill out your Excel spreadsheet that you guys have.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So we might circle back. Is there any media that you guys maybe look back to if you're feeling homesick? Is there any kind of anything? Maybe it might be Bollywood. Maybe it might just be something that you watch with your family or with your friends that you look back when you're feeling maybe a little bit homesick, a little bit maybe overwhelmed.
I just use WhatsApp to call my family, especially my mom. I just call her and I will yap. And I feel like that really, really helps a lot.
Have you found yourself doing that quite often? Are you trying to maintain those like social connections? Yeah.
Yeah, I do that really often, and I feel like I already have like a really close bond with my mom, and obviously like being away from home is not really easy. So I do feel like regularly being in touch helps a lot.
Yeah. WhatsApp is a big platform that I think every Indian student would be using here, because that's the only way you can communicate with your family, because God forbid your family is not there on Instagram. We don't want them. Yeah. We don't want them. So
Yeah, is it better or worse that you don't get like granny kind of follow your Instagram account?
So I have my grandparents back at India as well. So I need to call them through my mom's or my brother's number, because they don't have smartphones. They are someone who still use the button phones. So I would call them every weekend, and I would video call my family every day. I think that really helps, because you feel like you're fading away from your original country or your family, and this really helps staying glued on to your family and everything. And apart from that, I think So I'm a South Indian, so I like Kollywood movies a lot. So whenever I feel homesick, that is something that I really enjoyed binge watching with my family, because we would have weekend movie nights together as family, and that I would really enjoy that. So whenever I'm feeling homesick, I would just pick a movie and
Police wala gunda.
no, I watch it in Tamil. I don't watch it in Hindi. I watch it in Tamil.
Arundhati ki anokhi kahani.
So I would just bring my brother he's finished. He has a summer vacations now, so he is always free. So I'd just call him and I'd say, are you feeling bored? He is bored. So I'd just say, can you just hop on to a Google Meet or something so that we could binge watch a movie together? So whenever I'm free, I would do that. Or like I said, there are IPL going on right now in India. So I'd stay, it starts at 1 a.m. in Australia, but I'm very dedicated to my team. So I watch it every time it is on. So that really helps staying connected to media, because you feel connected to home. And that's really good.
I think sports is a really great one, because it's well, you might still have the media access, like you might still be able to access movies, you might not be able to access the community, whereas sports is like you immediately have people to talk to it about. You know, that's 90% of the joy of watching sports is talking about sports, or more specifically complaining about what somebody else did.
Yeah.
So that's great. I think it's really interesting that doing the Google Meet things, because obviously being in Melbourne during COVID, that was like a really big thing here for even people that were like streets apart, was these like kind of COVID movie, like weekend movie nights. And it's great that there's that kind of still exists, and it's still really useful for people moving countries. So that technology has like been helpful for some like emotional and cultural connection.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
What about yourself? Is there any media that you're looking back, or are you calling your family every day?
Actually, I have I come from a Gujarati background, so people especially from Gujarat, they're always outside the country. I have my relatives, I have my uncle, I have my aunts in US, Canada. So back in 2000, when they got married and when they had to go to different countries after marriage, my aunt came to Australia, one of my aunt went to Canada. So I know the feeling. I went with my family. I was standing outside the airport watching the flight take off, and then we went back home. Oh, fine, she finally went. So I have had those things itself from the beginning. So I know that it's really important how calls are really important and how WhatsApp is really important. Now I have a timetable. In the morning, I'm going to call my mother. At night, she's going to call me. On Thursdays, I'm free. I'm going to call entire family. I'm going to call my grandma. I'm going to call my aunts. I'm going to call my uncle and my aunt who's in Sydney. And I keep on texting them and sending pictures and every day when I cook, I send them pictures. Look what I made. Look, and my nanny.
We have access to spices here.
Yeah.
I can prove it.
My mother actually parceled the spices to me.
Oh, lovely.
Because she was so hard. So she's no, I'm parceling it to you. We know that you get it there, but still I want to do it from my side. I don't want my kid to not stay without spices for even a day. So that's the really. Even if we're living that far, the connection was already there. So I have this timetable. I call, and call, and then when I don't call, the call comes. So why didn't you call us?
You're 5 minutes
missing
late.
you. And sometimes when I call them, they're already on call. So we have a group call.
Yeah.
So that is a really,
Yeah.
I think that's really great. I mean, I've got a smaller extended family, so we don't have to maybe organize a strict schedule or timetable in the same way. But I think it's great that my mother does the exact same things, going oh, I got this on special. I've got this. We'll send it through to you. We have the same stuff. Carla and my grandparents do it, going, oh, they used to do it a lot more often when we couldn't get sweets and things from the UK when we were children, but we can get them all here now, especially in Melbourne. They still send them through, and I'm I'm 22 years old and I live in a multicultural city. I can buy my own sweets, but they still do it.
mothers
know their kids.
Yeah. A mother's love is all the way there. But yeah, I would like to add on to what Noopur said. As someone who used to never cook before, I've finally gotten into cooking here, and I feel so proud that I actually do something in the kitchen. And the first thing I do is I send a photo to my family group, and I'm like, I made this.
There's an element of bragging. It was watch me.
Yeah. Even today, every morning I talk to my dad on call when he goes out for his morning walk, and even today I'm in the kitchen. I'm like, I'm cooking. Look. So I do feel it's really great to keep in touch online and just show them what you're up doing on a
Is there
daily
maybe an
basis.
element of I am eating, I'm healthy as well?
I'm managing. Yeah.
And the thing is, for me, I eat rice a lot. Someone was like, stop eating rice at night. So I like specially sent photos. See, I made rotis, like I made bread because I'm like very lazy in making rotis and bread. I'm like, oh, I'll just put up a rice cooker and I'll like cook rice and like I'll eat rice. But then again, so I like click photos for evidence also. See, I ate this, I ate that, I made it. So because whenever a fight comes up, you are like ready to say, no, I made it and I did everything. So that's what it is. So.
Because the other angle to look at this is because I think your family is living through your eyes. I want my family to feel like they're also in Melbourne,
With me,
with us.
So
yeah.
everything I do, I'll send them a picture or video call them because I want to give them the feeling that, they are not just stuck there. They're
I
living
know.
through my eyes. So I think that's very
Yeah.
important as an international student. You have this feeling, you have this yearning that maybe my family is not physically here, but
They're still
in
here.
internet
in a
is
way.
Yeah,
really
we want
good.
them like virtually, and
Yeah.
even like my father keeps on asking me, "Are you getting bored? Should I come for a week?" I'm like, "Why the hell would you come for a week? Like only for a week? You come for a month?" He's like, "No, I'll only come for a week because my work permit's only a week." I'm like, "Why the hell do you want to spend so much and come for a week because of me?"
I love that it's happening only a month in as well. They're waiting for you to say you're bored so they have something to do as well, right? No, that's great. It's great that you're all like on the same page a little bit as well. You can really feel like the cultural connections, maybe the cultural values there.
Yeah.
And it's great that you've found some way to do that in a different country. The thing about like them seeing through your eyes is I think really like beautiful as well because
Yeah.
it shares that kind of exploration of a new city as well. And maybe, make sure that you do it as you
And
get
not, like-
leave the house, you do all that. The
Yeah.
stress of uni
Yeah.
doesn't distract from the fact that you are in a new city and there's stuff
Yeah.
to explore. It's great.
And my mom even asked me, how is Shreeja, how is Simran? Like, she knows we are friends. And she asked, how are these people? When are you meeting them? What are your timings? And my mother keeps on forgetting my flatmate's name. So all the weird names she keeps on, it's so funny. Because and she keeps on asking and yeah, so that's really good.
Your mum is really living through your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I wanted to then maybe move on to something else. Was there any preconceptions? You talked a little bit about Australia that you had when you were moving here.
Spiders.
Spiders?
No.
All
Animals.
kinds of weird wildlife
Animals
that
and
you're going to be
spiders.
sitting in the house and this huge insect is going to enter and it's going to attack you.
I remember this,
Yeah.
because I have some friends back at India with whom I did my undergrad. We have a group on Instagram, and we would find as soon as everything was confirmed, they would find reels on Instagram. Scary reels about how there are spiders, tarantulas, and they just send it on the group. They would be like, Shreeja, this is what you're up to. You know, right? This is what you're going to meet there. And as soon as I landed here, it's been a month, I video called them and I was like, you know what? Look, there is no spider
Touch wood.
in my home.
Touch wood.
Touch wood.
Touch wood.
There's no spider in my home.
There's one crawling on the wall now.
I killed a house spider yesterday.
Even I did that. I've killed like 2 spiders
What-
till now.
was that a momentous occasion? Was that
It was like there was one on the wall. I just took the vacuum cleaner and
Yeah,
I,
that's what I did. That's what
Yeah.
I was so scared, and I told my flatmate to do it. She's like, "No, I bath right now. I'm not doing it." So I had to do it, and I've never done that. And yeah, even but she said, I have a best friend who is there in India. She's like, when you go to Australia, just check for me whether there are spiders or not. And I have all sorts of people who are sending me spider reels, and I'm like, oh my god, I have never I don't want to face that thing, but I till now I've not faced it, so I'm lucky.
The thing that Australia did really live up to was the weather here.
Yeah.
especially Melbourne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Melbourne is a lie. It's got the most international students, the most tourists, and we just don't include it in any of the international advertising. It's really
Instagram Reels tells you everything.
Yeah, they
we
do.
got to know. So Reels, again, they informed us about how you really need to carry an umbrella because it can rain anytime. And I said, you must be joking. And then I came here. I came without an umbrella. I was like, I'm not. You only get 40 kgs to take your entire
Yeah.
room, put it in a suitcase and bring it here. I'm not spending
Yeah.
1 kg or something on a, umbrella. But then I came here. I said, I was mistaken. Reels were right.
It's not even like it rains sometimes. It rains most of the time.
There
in
are
Melbourne.
4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, but even umbrella doesn't work. It's so windy when it's
Yeah.
umbrella will just break off because I when I went out and rain started, I did not open my umbrella because it was so windy. I was so scared that umbrella will break. So there was
It's
no need
more
for
the
umbrella.
wind than
Then the
rain.
rain
Because
itself. Yeah.
especially someone from Mumbai. So the other day I went somewhere with my friend. It was really cloudy and it started raining. And we made the same comment every time that the rains here are not as Mumbai, because the Mumbai rains are terrible. They'll blow you out. It will the water will be up till your knee in no time. The rain here is not as much as the wind here. That's
Yeah.
the more difficult part.
It doesn't rain that much. It just kind of rains constantly a little bit, which
Yeah.
is
But it does rain.
yeah.
It rains, yeah.
Well, I mean, I was gonna spoil the fun of like this has been one of the nicer like summers. Like this has been some of the warmer like Marches that we've had.
Oh.
Usually it becomes autumn and goes to shit a lot quicker.
Good for us then.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm actually really
Yeah.
looking forward to colder days. I'm not a summer girl at all. I want cold, windy, gloomy days, and I'm
You've
honestly
moved to the perfect
looking
place.
so forward to it.
No, I mean that's the thing. I was like, so I grew up in Ireland, so miserable, and then moved to Adelaide, so South Australia. South Australia is what's on all the pictures. Like South Australia is 30 degrees, sunny sky for months at a time. But we tell everyone it's really boring there, so nobody goes and ruins the beaches. But yeah, moving to Melbourne was a massive thing. But and I did the same thing of like, yeah, even I, living in the country for decades, was like, Melbourne, I know the weather is bad, but I'm not packing an umbrella and this across state borders. Got here, hail, rain. The first day I moved here, it was sunny skies and hailing. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no...
Yeah.
I had to get one of the
Run
students...
to Kmart.
Yeah. I had to get one of the students that studies like earth science to go, yeah, it can happen. It's called this. I'm like, no, you've made it up. This is just, it's just somebody's
Yeah.
pouring ice on my head in the sun. No, the weather is definitely a disappointment. But at least the spiders aren't. The spiders
wood.
are overhyped.
Touch wood.
Perfect. I'm just going to quickly go down my questions to see if there's anything I missed. Communication barriers, media you watched, preconceptions, media you helped adjust. Perfect. I might just ask a little question. When you were talking about the TikToks and the YouTubes, oh my god, I sound like a boomer. The YouTubes. When you were talking about like TikToks and Instagram Reels and YouTube videos you watched, were you watching really like the academic side, talking about what the uni experience was like, or were you looking at like the cultural side? What were you most interested in?
I feel like everything overall, because everything provides you such a unique perspective. So at least I personally was looking at everything, whether it's cultural, academic, touristy. I feel like it's may as well, I'm going to a new country, may as well familiarize myself with
Just trying to
everything
get
about
as much as
Exactly,
possible.
yeah.
For me, I think I have dedicated platforms for different things. YouTube would be something if I want to look at academic things. What is the course like? What do I need to, are there any prerequisites that I need to clear or get it cleared out before I start the course? I'd go for YouTube. If it's the more funky side, the fun side, then it's always Instagram for me.
What about yourself? Were you looking mainly at academic stuff, or were you trying to gauge the cultural vibe? Googling if we had spices here.
Yeah, so for me, I like whenever I used to like go for the academic part, I used to like always go on Google. I used to write the term and I used to write Monash side beside it. So it used to like give me Monash websites also. And like whenever when I was in dilemma or I had questions or whatever, I always connected to Monash Connect, and they like replied instantly. And sometimes like when like I was like researching about how I really want to do my research in some particular area or whatever, I did go to YouTube. Because like I said, Instagram, I was not that active like earlier before. So like I did go to YouTube and like search for academics. And like, of course, and even YouTube was a mix of it. Like, and I'm the girl who likes like, pinning the study reels. And, even on Pinterest, I have this like study mood boards and all those like room decors and study mood boards. So like I was really like getting along and I was really wanted to like get my life started and like, again, like timetabling everything and like, and I am
Very
the person,
organized.
I am the person who is like a kind of like, I don't like that much change, just like instant change. Okay, fine. Like I thought like I'm going to do this subject today and I was not able to do, so my heart will like sink and I like get so sad that I was not able to do that. So like for me, I like Pinterest has helped me a lot. I love Pinterest. And like I used to see, I used to pin the study time and like how to like organize and like all those stuff. And of course YouTube academic
did you
and like
find
Monash Connect and all
Did you
that.
find the Pinterest study board helpful, or is it
Yeah.
more aspirational?
No, actually, yes, I did find it more helpful because when you like organize and when you're in a good state, you really like your mind is healthy and like you really want to like start studying, and that's like how I have like decorated my room also because like at one point of time in a day, I do feel that I want to go back home, and that is the feeling which I get, and like I get the feeling like I want to go back home, I want to sit on my desk, and I want to study. Because that is the aesthetic that I have actually created, because it helps me to like have a good and healthy mind and and a clear mind, because when you like started studying and of course masters are like make or break, because you don't have anything else except if you're going to do PhD. So like
Masters
I
has to
really-
be there for
Yeah,
PhD.
exactly.
So I really like and Pinterest has really helped me because I like all the clear and organizing and like study time and like
You seem to have you like your very
Yeah.
organized vibes.
Yeah.
No, complete opposite of me. I could not. I wake up every day going, what am I doing with my life? I would love to be as organized. You brought up a good thing about Monash Connect, though. Is that a service that you guys have used or found useful? Because like that's the one thing I can't, as not an international student at Monash, I have no idea how that works or if it was useful.
very useful.
Very
I'll tell you what happened with me. I'll share an incident. Like I had to pay my fees, and I paid a fees, and like it's written on the website that it'll take 3 or 4 business days, like to do. And I sent my receipt of payment everywhere because the deadline was coming. Like on Monash Connect and like on certain like there's this email also which is given on the website. So like I used to like really like text like mail them and everything, and the response was so nice. The response is really very nice and fast, and like they do it in a very clear way, like we understand that what is like happening. So it has really helped me, because back there as an international student I did not have anywhere else to go to. So Monash Connect was the place where I found like where I used to ask questions, and and they used to answer me back. So it gave me a sense of a calmness and peacefulness, because we have the thing which triggers inside me that, oh god, the thing is not happening, it should happen. So this thing triggers me a lot. So Monash Connect helped me like through
And
that.
I think especially as an international student, because the academics are so varied from your home country, you really need someone to back you up, someone you can run to about some things, because especially for me, figuring out the course handbook was very difficult, because back in India we didn't have anything as such. We got a timetable, we stuck to it. Maybe the master students in India have that, but it's a new concept as a student who has just finished their undergrad to the masters. So Monash Connect was really helpful in those matters, because they don't just help you understand the handbook, but they also answer your queries. Because if you're confused about what do I take my second specialization as, do I have any prerequisites, they find ways for you to get that done. So that I really found helpful. And even during the unit has already started, you can run to the Monash Connect anytime you have any issue. You could just book a appointment with them, and they'll clear you out. And that's really important for us as international kids, like she mentioned.
I think that's a good point. I've only ever had to run to Monash Connect for like flexibility things, but I know when it's a new school system entirely, it seems quite rigid in that. But if you go to Monash Connect, you can go, oh, I'm like 4 weeks late to start a unit. Can I do it anyway? And like, yeah, it's cool. So that peace of mind that you were talking about that they can offer is really great. You shook your head when I said Monash Connect. So have you used it at all?
I've used it just once, and that was just to get my MPass. And yeah, they were very quick and efficient. Like I literally got it within 2 minutes, the physical MPass. So I felt like that was really good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, going down that uni path, how did you guys find the resources they had for international students? Maybe it might be like O Week and OFest, getting to know people. Did you feel like Monash helped you in that way?
They
Or-
sorry,
No,
I cut
you
you
go.
off.
I had
I'm
no
sorry.
further points.
No, I feel like they definitely did, because like, I mean, obviously they had so many different types of events. You had so many different stalls. So obviously, if there are certain stalls that attract people, you're going to see them there. And especially you end up meeting a lot of like-minded individuals, and that's how I ended up meeting these two too. So I feel like you really find, I feel like that's the main place you really find the friends who you're potentially going to be with. Not potentially, definitely going to be with.
Thank you for clarifying that.
But like, yeah, because like you tend to enjoy the same activity. So that's when you like enjoy even more with them. Like I remember we found this bracelet making stall and we went crazy over there. We were so excited to see the beads and we've made like some 2-3
And we
different
broke
bracelets.
2 or 3 times. We broke the bracelet 2 or 3 times. Same
It was
bracelet.
frustrating.
I broke it 3 times. She broke it 2 times. And like we were like, I'm like, we're sorry, and we were making for each other. So I was making for her, she was making for someone, and I'm like, sorry, Shreeja, I'll make it again.
Yeah. But I think putting down an entire week for international kids is amazing because you get to explore not just one day. It takes time. It takes time to meet new people. It takes time to understand the entire process. And jotting down an entire week just for that before the university even begins is something amazing because I really like the concept. You get to explore so many stalls and you can't just go and, there are so many club activities. You can't just go and listen to them for 1 minute and then decide, okay, this is the club I want to join. That's not how it works. So it gives you time to take it all in and understand how the process is and meet a lot of new people, become friends with a lot of people. And I think a lot of students even found their roommates or houses during O week, which is amazing. So I think, the 1 week thing dedicated to students is really amazing.
And that is how like we found MACS.
I think technically we didn't have an O-week stall because no one was free.
So like we used to like every day like we used to like go to your stall and the stall was empty.
Yeah.
So we're like, when are these people gonna come? And then the next week, then like when you like set up a stall, I immediately texted them. They're like, oh, these people are here. These people are here. I immediately signed up for the podcast thing and like because. Yeah, and we were finding particular clubs which we were interested in. So like that's how we came across, and even communities. And like Monash even like gave us a whole handout of PDFs and websites and all those things, like how we like whatever happens, you go here. That is how it's segregated, and it has differentiated the all the different departments and all those stuff. So it has been really helpful, and the whole week was really good because like if you didn't come one day, you had the second day. So that is like, and of course everyone was house hunting, everyone was stressed, and like we still have some tension. Like we are like, okay, fine, we need a job now because we are like settling up, and like we can do the part time, and like we can like gel on something and like that. So everyone was stressed at that point of time. I remember Shreeja house hunting so badly. She used to run and run and run. So like that, like the whole week really helped to gel along and vibe along, and like she like
Don't bring it back up. Don't bring it up.
Don't bring the trauma back.
Well, it's great to see that like that was a useful time because that's something I've no experience in. So it's great to see that. I mean, the proof there that it can be useful. You can find people, you can find houses, you can get some peace of mind and support. Guys, thank you for listening to this week's MACS Chats. I hope you guys found that as educational and entertaining as I did. Just as a reminder, please follow MACS on our socials. So that's our Instagrams, our TikToks, our Facebooks, and just keep an eye out on our Instagram stories where we post open recordings. There is also that Google form in our podcast description where you can submit ideas or topics for an episode just like this one, and we'll try and arrange a recording for you. All right, see you guys.